Welcome to UND Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dan Hammer. On tonight's show, the men's basketball season is about to tip off. We'll hear from this year's team leader, Quinton Hooker. The UND football team is in the home stretch of the regular season, 2 games and counting as it chases a possible FCS playoff bid. We'll also talk some volleyball tonight and women's hockey, all on tap here in the next half hour. North Dakota football team had the weekend off. The head coach, Bubba Schweigert, is back. Bubba, 2 games to go. You're getting ready to host Northern Colorado Saturday at the Alerus Center. You still have a lot to play for. How exciting is it for your team right now to go into these final 2 games knowing you could be playing deep into the season?
Well, it's very exciting. You know, we want to play meaningful games in our program, and we put ourselves in that position. No guarantees,
right?
But we know we got to take care of business this weekend, and it's going to be a tough opponent after their big win last weekend, but we're looking forward to the challenge.
What is going on with the league this year? Complete unpredictability week to week.
A lot of parity, and I just really believe the team that takes care of the football and can win the turnover battle has a great opportunity to win games.
Yeah, you know you have to win these last 2 games to give yourselves a chance.
That's right, and we're going to take the approach one day at a time. That's how we talk to our team, that, hey, we're live, but we better take care of business one day at a time, and our preparation needs to be the focus at this time.
You're coming off the bye week. In what ways was it beneficial for you?
It was beneficial. We could give ourselves an opportunity to heal. Some guys needed to get off their feet a bit and not have such a heavy workload, and then we got some reps for some younger guys to develop some depth.
Yeah. All right, Northern Colorado coming up Saturday at the Alerus Center. We'll talk about your team's health and a little preview of the Bears coming up next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
The final home game of the regular season coming up Saturday, 1 o'clock at the Alerus Center, UND in Northern Colorado. Coach, let's talk about your team's health a little bit. Keaton Studsard returned 2 weeks ago, played well in the passing game. You wanted to limit him in the run game. How's he doing now? Is he healthier, and can he do more this Saturday?
Well, he's better. So we expected him to get better. You know, this was a 6-week injury, and he'll be at 6 weeks when we play on Saturday. And we just think he can do a lot better and be more involved in the total plan.
Okay, so allow him to run the football a little bit Saturday if you need be?
Well, we'll see what the defense gives us. You know, obviously we want to run the football, and we still got to keep working on that passing game to keep teams honest.
Elijah Grady was injured in your last game. How's he doing? Can he play on Saturday?
We hope so. You know, he practiced and is working individual drills, and we'll get him more involved as the week goes, but we hope to have him back.
Anybody else in the flux in question for this weekend injury-wise?
Javen Butler could be a big boost to us on special teams.
Yeah.
He's doing a little work out there, but we'll see. At this point, he's questionable.
Yeah. All right, Northern Colorado. A little tough team to predict from time to time this year. They had Eastern Washington beaten, but fell to Eastern Washington. Now they're coming off a win over nationally ranked Portland State. They got a young freshman quarterback, Jacob Knipp, who's playing well for him.
Well, we think he's very talented. You know, he's completing almost 60% of his passes. He's thrown more touchdowns than interceptions, and he's a real playmaker. He'll pull the ball down and hurt you with his feet, but we think he's got a lot of talent and a pretty good receiving core.
Yeah. Your D-backs, I think, got some confidence in the last game. They got a couple picks, made some key plays. They got to be playing with a little more swagger these days.
Yeah, and we figured we'd get better. You know, we had to get better, and having Cole back there really helps us. He gives us some stability, and he made a pick, and Jameer Sills making a pick. You know, that helps you and creates some confidence as you move forward in the season.
Northern Colorado's return game is very dangerous. Now teams are beginning to elect not to allow them to return the football. What's your approach going into Saturday there?
Well, they've returned 2 punts for touchdowns, 2 kickoffs for touchdowns,
Yeah.
So we've got to be really sharp with an excellent placement of the ball, and our coverage teams really need to be sharp and maintain their coverage lanes.
Yeah, all right. Sean Meehan and Brandon Anderson. These 2 guys have been the anchor of your offensive line. Meehan has started more than 30 straight consecutive games. Anderson has started 42 of his 43 career games. What have those 2 meant for this year's offensive line?
Well, they've meant so much to us just in stability and leadership and, you know, the way we want to play football. They're just 2 real guys that put their nose to the grind and work hard each and every day, and somebody we can count on. They're the same guy day after day.
They seem like just kind of steady eddies. They're not – neither one's real talkative. They just kind of do their business.
Yeah, and that's we really like them. They've gone about their business from day one. when we got here, our staff in 2014, they really bought into what we wanted to do and who we want to be, and just have provided excellent leadership.
All right, I would imagine same recipe this Saturday. You want to get John Santiago and Brady Oliveira going in a big way.
We have to do that. That's been a good recipe for us and helps us get the ball moving and gives us opportunities to throw it downfield when they have to pay attention to those guys, and also keeps our defense off the field.
We talked a little bit about Knip, but is he a guy that you bring a lot of pressure packages to, or you back off a little bit from that?
Well, I think the best you can do is try to contain him, but you know, we still are a team that likes to get after the quarterback. Sure. And when we do that, we play our best. If you go back to our last time out, when we started getting pressure on an experienced quarterback, it was to our favor.
Yeah. All right, Bubba, good luck Saturday. 1 o'clock, Northern Colorado, last home game of the year. Let's see if you can get a big crowd there and get you boosted in the right direction as you try to chase down a playoff spot here.
Well, it'd be a great help to us. We hope to fill up the Alaris and really put on a good show.
All right, we're looking forward to the broadcast Saturday. Bubba, good luck, and we'll review the game next week here on UND Sports Extra. UND guard Quinton Hooker coming up next here.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
The men's basketball season is about to begin, and our guest this evening is junior guard Quinton Hooker. Quinton, thanks for spending a little time with us.
Thanks for having me.
Your junior season, how quickly time flies, huh?
Yep, sure does, yeah.
What has you excited about this season ahead?
Just the group of guys that we have this year. You know, it's a new bunch. You know, a lot of new faces. I'm sure everyone's thinking, who is this guy? Who is that guy? But the guys that we have right now, it's a solid, fun group to be around, fun to watch, and I'm excited just to get into it.
And you are the leader of this team, unquestionably. What does leadership mean in your definition?
For me, leadership is just being a good role model. Both, you know, vocally, but showing by your actions too. You know, doing the right things here and there. And this year, my biggest thing is just being more vocal. Something that me and Coach Jones has talked about, and just really trying to help the younger guys and the newcomers get acclimated in our system and stuff like that, and just showing by example, really.
You were a warrior last year, played in every game. Your minutes went up and up as the season went along. Is that what you want out of this year, and can you do that effectively game in and game out?
I think so. Last year definitely was a great learning tool for myself, just as far as just, you know, managing the game and understanding what I needed to do to keep myself healthy and being productive throughout the season. And you know, there was, you know, obviously growing pains last year, but I think I really learned from it, so I'm excited for it.
Those last 6 games of the year last year, your minutes increased, your scoring was at a season high over those last 6 games, 22 points a game. Were the reins somewhat taken off you as the season progressed?
I don't know if it'd be reins were taken off me, more as just me being comfortable and just understanding the game more. And I think, especially once we got into conference play, the game really started to slow down, and I just really started to understand the game a little bit more. And working with the coaches, you know, they're always just giving me hints here and there, just about what to do or how to change something up. And they've really helped me through this growing process, and it's helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm. Those last 6 games, I mean, if you were to take Quinton Hooker, a piece of work, and apply it to this season, would it be those last 6 games from last year?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. It's probably just me more just playing. You know, it's just having fun and getting everybody involved and going out there and just playing basketball.
How would you describe this group of freshmen or newcomers, transfers too, that are coming into this team this year, and kind of its personality?
We're all kind of underdogs. Like we're all, and it's weird to say because I mean we have a lot of great talent here, but you know there's been a lot of doubts, you know, here and there, just through a lot of the guys' careers and stuff like that. And I think that just gives everybody a chip on their shoulder. Like this team, we have a lot of guys that want to work hard and put in the extra time. You know, there's been multiple nights where, you know, just coming to the gym just to get up a couple shots, and there's other guys here already. Like before anybody else, and staying after to do more lifting, or staying after practice to work on something, watching film with coaches, and just the atmosphere is a lot more positive, and the work ethic is showing.
Tell me about some of the internal expectations.
We just want to get better. We have a thing in our team of one word, and a lot of the guys' words have to do with growth, discipline, relationships, and I think a lot of our development is going to be keyed around continually getting better and progressing. So I think as we continue through the season, the more we see ourselves improving or getting better, whether it's on the court or off the court, I think that's going to show. And that's our biggest goal, I think.
UND opens the season Friday afternoon at 3, hosting Minnesota Morris inside the Betty Engelstad Sioux Center. UND Athletics' new High Performance Center is officially open. The Performance Center had its grand opening last night, a facility covering 156,000 square feet that has a 100-yard regulation-sized football field and a 300-meter 8-lane state-of-the-art track.
This is so extraordinary for us. It's a first-class facility. It's the best track surface in the world right now. We're so proud to have done that, and we've had a lot of things that have been involved in this facility that will make it incredible for competition.
The HPC was financed by private funds totaling $18 million. Football coach Bubba Schweigert sees the HPC as a big tool for recruiting and player development.
It's just awesome to walk in here and tell everybody, until you get inside, you are not going to realize just how awesome this facility is when you look around and you see the space.
Track and field coach Kevin Galbraith says recent recruits were in awe of the center. He says everything changes for UND with this facility. He had a message for athletes.
Occasionally look up on the wall and remember, there's some great people up on pictures on this wall. People who didn't have the opportunities that you have. And reverence that. Now, if you happen to be up on the wall or you know somebody who was, I just want to say thank you. Because this is the day when everything changed for us.
The HP Center officially open. What a great facility for UND athletics and the future. Coming up next, we'll visit with volleyball head coach Mark Pryor.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
The North Dakota women's basketball team has put a wrap on the exhibition season. Next stop, the regular season. The team's final warm-up came this past Sunday against Minnesota Crookston, and UND would shoot the ball very good in the first half. Here's Maya Lloyd getting North Dakota started early inside for 2. Michaela Dyer is poised to have a strong season for North Dakota. Here Dyer drives, gets inside, draws the foul. She finished with 16 points and 9 rebounds. Freshman Kanani Asuncion is playing a lot these days with the injury to Leah Zabla. Here she knocks down the 3, the freshman from Rochester. Lexi Clable, another freshman here, comes up with the steal, then runs the floor and finishes. She was in double figures with 10. North Dakota shot at 64% from the field at the half and led at 45-23 in the second half. Good ball movement here, finding Lloyd. She led North Dakota with 18 points. Ellie Ripplinger got a start for Travis Brewster's team. She played over 20 minutes and scored 5 points as North Dakota rolled 72-47 to wrap up the exhibition part of its schedule. The UND women's hockey team is back in action this weekend, hosting Ohio State Saturday and Sunday at the Ralph. It's coming off a split against Minnesota. Megan Dufault, the UND senior center, is playing some of the best hockey of her career. Here's Marty Mueller with more.
Transitioning in hockey is crucial to success, something UND senior forward Megan Dufault knows well.
I think playing boys hockey growing up was probably the best thing that I could have done because girls teams at the time weren't very well developed and there wasn't many girls teams too, so I think that helped me a lot playing with boys.
Growing up in Winnipeg, high caliber girls youth hockey was tough to come by. In order to play with the best, Dufault skated with the boys clubs until she was 12, elevating her game and giving it dimensions not often found on the women's side.
She's very dynamic and deceptive with her speed, and her skating is tremendous, but she's also really strong. and really has a nice lower center of gravity and is tough to knock off the puck when she's driven.
I think now I may be short, but I'm not a very weak person. On the ice, I try to hold my own, so I think that can partially be growing up playing hitting with guys and trying to keep up with them.
As her skill set progressed, so too did Defoe's recognition. And when Hockey Canada came calling, she was ready, winning a silver medal at the 2011 Under-18 World Championship before serving as assistant captain on the 2012 squad and leading them to a gold medal. Her success at the national level readied her for yet another transition, this time to the collegiate ranks.
Having the experience with the national programs kind of gets you ready for that with the U18s and growing up. So coming in, I kind of knew what the type of players would be and how good they are. So that's one of my bigger challenges in this league, is being tough to play against and not only using skill but also being gritty and going to the hard areas.
Those tough areas are where goals are scored and games are won. As a leader, Megan prides herself on being the one to provide a spark.
I try to lead by scoring goals in crunch times, bringing some offense when we're stuck in our D zone, that type of thing. So I try to get the offense going, and I think that's my biggest asset.
Now Dufel comes in, and she scores! Wow!
She's always been someone who's delivered for us at the end of the season, but she's doing it now on a consistent basis, and that's what we need to be successful.
Megan knows we need offense from her, and I think she's doing just that, and I think you've only seen a little bit of what she can do, and I think it's only going to get better from here for her.
The up and up is always on her mind. Expecting to graduate this spring, she's preparing for what could be the biggest transition of her young career, grad school.
Heard that the percentage to get in is 100 people and 1,000 applicants, so I'm really trying to study for my LSAT in December and do well on that and hopefully get in for next year or the year after.
She's no stranger to defying the odds, but this task could prove to be the tallest for a woman who's never let her height hold her back.
The North Dakota volleyball team has clinched a spot in the Big Sky Conference postseason tournament. We'll visit with head coach Mark Pryor next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
The North Dakota volleyball team has punched its ticket to the Big Sky postseason tournament. They did so by beating Montana and Montana State on the road last weekend. Head coach Mark Pryor is back. Congrats. You're in the tournament, which is where you want to be, and considering what has gone on with the health of your team this year, that's a pretty good accomplishment.
It is. It's one of those that some of the people are going, aren't you upset? I'm like, look, grand scheme of things, we're in. It's always the plan. Let's get in. Let's see what happens. And we've won 19 ball games this year, so you can't be too upset about that.
And you won your second and third consecutive road matches last weekend in Missoula and Bozeman.
That's big for us as far as getting back to being able to play good at neutral sites and play well on the road, because we're going to have to do that wherever the conference tournament's going to be.
Yeah. Kristen Geisbrick, she's been forced to give you, quite a few repetitions here lately because of injuries, and how has she responded?
She had her best match against Montana. She had 7 kills, 0 hitting errors on 16 swings, a couple really timely blocks, made a couple great digs, and just a real good calming force out there. She's a senior, nothing rattles her, and she knows, what's the worst you're going to do, Coach? You can't take me out. We don't have anybody else. I'm like, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
And that is a fact. You're not joking here. You've got 9 healthy players,
right,
and that's it. Kazarowska's out.
Mm-hmm.
Bettengay is out. Others are out. So
right.
It's the Iron 9 right now.
This is what we've got. It's very much Class B North Dakota football. You're going on offense. You're going on defense. And it's fun. It's great because the kids realize, hey, if it's going to happen, I got to get it done. And we just love that.
You can never plan anything like that. You never know how your team's going to react to be in situations like that. So how have you seen it react to these situations?
Well, first of all, we can't practice as long, so that's better.
They like that.
They do like that.
You probably like that.
I think at this point in the season, we could have changed a lot of things around, but no, we know that you're good at this spot and you're good at this spot. We're just going to plug 1 or 2 kids in. And we just talked about, hey, just do what you can do. And as long as you're earning as many points as you're possibly giving up with theirs, then we're going to call it a wash, and you're great. And they've responded well. They kind of fight for each other. And they like to see when some of those kids that don't get a whole lot of playing time, that they're doing well. The team was more happy for Kristen, I think, than we were about getting the win, just seeing how well she had a chance to play.
Has it affected how teams are approaching Faith Dooley and Chelsea Mosier?
Yeah, it's basically student body left and student body right whenever they see. If we're in system, they're going to have 4 to 6 hands on them the whole time. And they should. Those 2 are good. You've got those 2 in the top 10 in the league in multiple categories as far as blocks, as far as points per set and kills per set. So they've got to do a little more. We're not asking them to do a whole lot more. We're going to try to find them in some different spots so we can kind of move them away from some blockers. But once film goes out, they know we're going to give those 2 kids the ball.
All right, your final 2 home matches of the season coming up this weekend. Idaho, Thursday, 7 o'clock at the Betty. Eastern Washington, Saturday, 11 a.m. at the Betty. And then you're going to go, well, somewhere next week for the Big Sky Tournament. You don't know where you're going.
We're going to get on a plane, and it doesn't matter because once we get in, we just try to get to Friday, get to Saturday, and get that bid.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time. Good luck this weekend. Again,
thank you.
Thursday night, 7 o'clock against Idaho. Saturday at 11 a.m. against Eastern Washington. Thanks for watching UND Sports Extra. We invite you to stay tuned for North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry next year on Midco Sports Network.